All right. So may peace and power elevation be to all of you. Today, what's going on? It's your girl Tiffany coming through live in effect. So if you are on the YouTube channel, make sure you share and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. If you are on the Facebook channel, make sure you share this channel as well. And so today we're going to talk about African history, of course, today history. So we're going to get into, I'm going to get into the discussion about Malawi and Comoros. Excuse me. Malawi and Comoros, which are those two African countries that earned its independence. So both of them earned their independence today. Malawi is the country that's located on the southern eastern part of Africa, and they earned their independence on July the 6th of 1964, whereas Comoros is another country that's just located in East Africa, and they earned their independence on July the 6th of 1975. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Malawi, and I want you guys to see the flag. All right, that's the Malawi flag. And have you noticed it's red, black, and green? Red, black, and green. Have you noticed that? So that's the flag of the country. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into the history about Malawi. All right, so just give me a second. Let's go ahead and go into the history, shall we? So I'm going to do a little bit of Wikipedia, and then I'm going to do another website called Malawi Project. So here it goes. All right, you see it? All right, here it goes. So here it is, Malawi. Officially, the Republic of Malawi is a landlocked country in southern eastern Africa that was formerly known as Nyasaland. It is bordered by Zambia to the west, Tanzania to the north and northeast, and Mozambique surrounding the east, south, and southwest. Malawi spans over 118,484 kilometers and has an estimated population of 18,143,217 as of July of 2018. Lake Malawi, known as Lake Nyasa, takes up about a third of Malawi's area. Its capital, Lilongwe, which is also Malawi's largest city. The second largest city is Blantyre. The third largest city is Mzuzu, and the fourth largest is its old capital, Zamba. The name Malawi comes from the Moravi, an old name of the Nyaja people in that inhabited the area. The country is nicknamed the Warm Heart of Africa because of the friendliness of the people. So let's go down here. All right, let's go down here. It says, the part of Africa now known as Malawi was settled by migrating Bantu groups around the 10th century. Centuries later, in 1891, the area was colonized by the British. In 1953, the Malawi, then known as Nyasaland, a protectorate of the United Kingdom, became a protectorate with the semi-independent Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland. The federation was dissolved in 1963. In 1964, the protectorate of Nyasaland was ended, and Nyasaland became an independent country under Queen Elizabeth II with the new name Malawi. 2 years later, it became a republic. Upon gaining independence, it became a totalitarian one-party state under the presidency of Hastings Banda, who remained president until 1994. Malawi now has a democratic multi-party government headed by an elected president currently, Lazarus Shak- Shakuria. The country has a Malawian defense force that includes an army, a navy, and air wing. Malawi's foreign policy is pro-Western and includes positive diplomatic relations with most countries and participation in several international organizations, including the United Nations, the Commonwealth of Nations, the Southern African Development Community, the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, and the African Union. All right, so let's get down to how the Bantu people, because if you know, the Bantu people was mostly known to be in southern part of Africa, right, throughout the southern eastern and throughout the southern west. So let's read on how the Bantu people came about during this time. So the area now known as Malawi had a very small population of hunter-gatherers before the waves of Bantu people began immigrating from the north around the 10th century. Although most of the Bantu people continued south, some remained and founded ethnic groups based on common ancestry. By 1500 AD, the tribe had established the kingdom of Moravi that reached from north of what is now Nikota to the Zambezi River, and from Lake Malawi to the Lagwana River in what is now Zambia. All right. Here we go. Soon as after 1600, with the area mostly united under one native ruler, native tribesmen began encountering, trading with, and making alliances with Portuguese traders and members of the military. By 1700, however, the empire had broken up into areas controlled by many individual ethnic groups. The Arab slave trade reached its heights in the mid-1800s, when approximately 20,000 people were enslaved and considered to be carried yearly from Nakota to Kilwa, where they were sold. So going down here, it talks about the missionary named David Livingstone. He reached the Lake Malawi in 1859 and identified the Shire Highlands south of the lake as an area suitable for European settlement. As a result of the Livingstone visit, several Gallican and Sebastian missions were established in the areas in the 1860s and the 1870s. The African Lake Company Limited was established in 1878 to set up a trade and transport concerning working closely with the missions, and a small mission and trading settlement was established at Blantyre in 1876, and a British council took up residence there in 1883. The Portuguese government was also interested in the area, so to prevent Portuguese occupation, the British government sent Harry Johnson as British consul with instruction to make treaties with local rulers beyond Portuguese jurisdiction. All right. So there it goes. All right, so there goes the information. Let's look at how they earned their independence. All right. So we're going to go down here to where they talk about their independence. I'm trying to see, is there something else on here that I'm missing? Okay. So, yeah, we're going to go down here to the independence. In 1961, Banda's Malawi Congress Party gained a majority in the Legislative Council election, and Banda became prime minister in 1963. The federation was dissolved in 1963, and on July 6, 1964, Nyasaland became independent from British rule and renamed itself Malawi, and that is commemorated as the nation's Independence Day, a public holiday. Under a new constitution, Malawi became a republic with Banda as its first president. The new document also formally made Malawi a one-party state with the MCP as the only legal party. In 1971, Banda was declared president for life for almost 30 years. Banda presided over a rigidly totalitarian regime, which ensures that Malawi did not suffer armed conflict. Opposition parties, including the Malawi Freedom Movement of Orton Sharawa and the Socialist League of Malawi, were founded in exile. All right. So you see, their president lasted from 1964 to 1994. So that's a long time to be a ruler over a country. All right. So, anyways, yeah, that's the history of Malawi and how they earned their independence. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the culture of Malawi. Okay. Stop sharing my screen. Right again. Okay, there we go. There's another screen right there. So, okay, so this website here is called the MalawiProject.org. And let's see what they're talking about right here. Okay, it says the eastern coast of the continent Africa has been the focal point of major international trade all the way back to the days of Phoenician traders at the time of Christ. But even before this time, as far back as BC 8000, Pygamy descendants flourished in a number of sites in the area of present-day Malawi. Evidence have been found of human skeleton, flint arrowheads, and imaginative paintings in their cave dwellings are still in evidence today. All right. Record indicates a thriving trade exists between the Shawazi Arabs of Persia and the east coast of the continent as far back as AD 1000. By AD 1300, the Swahili city-states from the region around present-day Somalia to as far south as today Mozambique coast were involved in trade relation with the Arab world. All right. By the 10th and 11th century AD, coinciding with the Iron Age, the Bantu tribes began migrating into the area from the Congo, and the consolidation of these tribes in what would be known as the Moravi Empire was reported during the 16th century by the arrival of the Portuguese traders. All right. So let's see if it goes more in depth about the slave trade. Okay, so change came to this part of Africa in the 19th century, and it was intensively destructive. History marks this change with the capture of Mopaza in the year 1824 by Sultan Said of Muscat. This event effectively ended the Portuguese influence in the area north of present-day Mozambique. While Europe and America were moving to abolish the slave trade, money rule increased to horrific proportion. By 1839, over 40,000 slaves were being sold through the Zanzibar slave market. Some estimates conclude that as many as 5 times that number died in the brutal village raiding parties and in the long march to the sea. All right. So let's see what they talking about here. Okay, the coastal trading center of Karonga in Kota in Salima on Lake Malawi became famous for slave trading centers. Thousands were said to have died in the nights raids by the Ahmadi raiders, while still countless multitudes died on the forced march that often took as long as 3 months to reach the sea. The tragic path finally reached the edge of the Indian Ocean, and the hapless slaves were aboard ships destined for Zanzibar. Here, the conditions were so cruel that records show where a cargo of 300 could easily be reduced to only 20 or 30 reaching port. Mm. Hmm. Okay, so and let's see what they talking about right here. Adding to the problem of disastrous slave trade was the interest of the Yao tribes in the southern part of present-day Malawi. The Yaos had been converted to Islam by the Arabs and were well armed and able to offer a rich prize for the slaves they fought to capture. Settling in the region near the southern end of the lake, the Yao were a dagger in the underbelly of the northern tribes. The was it Moravian? Yeah, the Moravian Yaos moved north, killing and capturing the local Chiwa and Maganya by the hundreds. What had been a refuge from the killing, disease, and conflict of the region of the Congo had now become a killing field again for the ill-fated Chiwa. All right, so obviously there was tribal wars going on in the midst of the Arab slave trades taking place. All right, so let's see what else they got to say on here on this website. Uh, okay, so that's it for right now. So let's look at the people from Malawi. Let's see what they look like. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, as you can see, those are the people of Malawi. That's the image. Let's see. Yeah, those are the people of Malawi today. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I accidentally locked myself out. Oh, I can't wait till I get everything right. Let me get back. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. So that's the picture of the people in Malawi. Here, there's the women. So what we're gonna look at the tribes in Malawi. All right. So everybody like the tribes. So what we're gonna look at the tribes, the culture, the religion, and the social status, and then we're gonna go from there. All right. So let's look at. All right. So let's look at the Malawi tribes. Okay. So here it is. Here are the different tribes that inhabit Malawi: the Chiwa, the Inyaja, Tumbuka, Yao, Yangwe, Sina, Toga, Ngoni, and Ngunde. All right, so here it is, the Tonga tribe. So let me find a picture of the Tonga tribe. Lord have mercy. All right, so that's the tribe of that's the Tonga tribe. All right, the Tonga tribe that inhabited the Chinteke area, also home to Simbani Lodge, are known for being particularly friendly and welcoming. Their greeting is Tanmu Wanine, which translates to "May we greet you." The reply to this is Yewu, which means thank you. For further language tip, it says download Malawi e-phrase book. All right. The Tonga were originally nomadic, but seem to have settled in the Chinte area. They are some local jokes about the Toga people as a race meticulous about their appearance, and it is often said locally that a Tonga man will wear a suit complete with collar and tie, while the shirt beneath the jacket will be in tatters, except the collar of of course, they will also carry a handkerchief in a briefcase. The farmer so that they can dust themselves down after a car pass. If you don't find this hugely amusing, don't worry, you'll soon get the hang of the Malawian humors. All right, and then the other one is the Chiwa tribe. Okay, so there we go right there. All right, so that's the Chiwa tribe. All right, the Chiwa tribe, the most prolific of the Malawian tribes. Chiwa was become the officially recognized language in Malawi, taught in schools from a young age. Children learn to speak Chiwa alongside their regional tribal language and in addition to English. All right. So yep, that's it right there. Okay. So let's see. Real quick, let's look at the social construct. All right, let's look at the social politics. Let's see. Hmm. Da, 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 da. Okay, so let's look at the women in Malawi. All right. Okay, here we go. The status of women throughout the world, including Malawi, is measured using a wide range of indices which cover areas of social, economic, political context, focused primarily on the time between 2010 and the current day. The status of women in Malawi will be analyzed through a range of statistical indices. The current status of social status of women in Malawi is effectively estimated through indices such as a female access to schooling, maternal mortality rate, and life expectancy of women from birth. Right. These indices offer a wide lens of information on women's rights and life in Malawi. Women's access to schooling in Malawi as an index highlights how within the state the ratio of male to female students for many age groups and for total students by gender shows women's access to schooling maintains on par with men access. Female students in Malawi, though, see consistent declines as the age increases, significantly signifying the failure of compulsory education amongst female students in Malawi. The life expectancy of women from birth in Malawi has been significant growth over the past decade, as the life expectancy of women in 2010 was approximately 58 years old, whistle to most recent data from 2017 found that women in Malawi's average life expectancy grew to 66 years. Maternal mortality rate in Malawi, which is particularly low even when compared with states at similar points in development process. All right then. Let's see. Do they talk about the economics? Okay, so let's talk about the economy of Malawi. Now, from what I read, I could be wrong that it's the poorest country, but let's read it. The economy. Malawi, among the world's least developed countries, around 85% of the population live in rural areas. The economy is based on agriculture, and more than one third of GDP, which is the gross domestic percentage, and 90% of export revenues come from this. In the past, the economy has been dependent on substantial economics aid from the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and other countries. Malawi was ranked the 119th safest investment destination in the world in the March 2011 Euro Money Country Risk Rankings. All right. In December 2000, the IMF stopped aid disbursement due to the corruption concern, and many individual donors followed suit, resulting in a almost 80% drop in Malawi's development budget. However, in 2005, Malawi was the recipient over US $575 million in aid. The Malawian government faces challenges in developing a market economy, improving environmental protection, dealing with rapidly growing AIDS and HIV problems, improving the education system, and satisfying its foreign donors that it is working to become financially independent. So as of today, they're not financially independent. Okay. Improved financial discipline has been seen since 2005 under the leadership of President Mutharika and Financial Minister Gondaway. This discipline has since evaporated as shown by the purchase in 2009 as a private presidential jet, followed almost immediately by a nationwide fuel shortage, which was officially blamed on logistical problems, but was more likely due to the hand currency shortage caused by the purchases. The overall cost to the economy and healthcare system is unknown. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna skip some paragraphs. Blah blah blah. All right, so I'm gonna have to get through this because I ain't gonna be able to. All right, so agriculture accounts for 35% of GPD, industry for 19%, and service for the remaining 46%. Malawi has one of the lowest per capita incomes in the world, although economic growth has estimated at 9.7% in 2008. Strong growth is predicted by the International Monetary Fund for 2009. The poverty rate in Malawi is decreasing through the work of the government and supporting organizations, with people living under the poverty line decreasing from 54% in 1990 to 40% in 2006, and the percentage of ultra poor decreasing from 24% in 1990 to 15% in 2007. Many analysts believe that economic progress for Malawi depends on its ability to control population growth. In January of 2015, southern Malawi was devastated by the worst floods in living memory, straining at least 20,000 people. These floods affected more than 1 million people across the country, including 336,000 who were displaced, according to the UNICEF. Over 100 people were killed, and an estimate 64,000 hectares of cropland were washed away. Wow. So, um, let's see. They got the science technology. It says where the research trends Malawi develops 2.06% of GDP to research and development in 2010, according to a survey by the Department of Science and Technology, one of the highest ratio in Africa. This corresponds to $7.08 per research in current purchasing partly dollars. In 2014, Malawian scientists had the third largest output in Southern Africa in terms of articles, catalogs, and international journals. They also published 322 articles in Thomson Reuters Web of Science. Science Citation Index expanded that year, almost tripled the number in 2005, which is 116. Only South Africa's 9,309, and the United Republic of Tanzania 777 published more in Southern Africa. Malawian scientists publish more in mainstream journals relative to GDP than any other country of a similar population size. This is impressive, even if the country's publication density remained modest, with just 19 publications per million inhabitants cataloged in international journals in 2014. The average for sub-Saharan Africa is 20 publications per million inhabitants. All right. So here's the demographic right here. If you can see it, let me see if I can make the screen bigger. No, I can't. Okay, there we go, right there. According to their census, Lilongwe has over 989,318. All right, and that's the central region of Malawi. So they have the highest population. Okay. So we already talked a little bit about those tribes. Let's talk about religion. Let's not forget about religion. So let's go down here to religion. There we go. All right, Malawi is a majority Christian country with a significant Muslim minority. Government surveys indicate that 87% of the country is Christian, with a minority 11.6% Islamic population. The largest Christian groups in Malawi are the Roman Catholic Church, of which 19% of Malawians are adherents, and the Church of Central Africa, pedestrians, to which 18% belong. The CCAP is the largest Protestant domination in Malawi, with 1.3 million members. There are smaller pedestrians domination, like the Reformed Pedestrian Church of Malawi and the Evangelical Pedestrian Church of Malawi. And there are also smaller numbers of Anglicans, Baptists, Evangelical, Seventh-day Adventists, and the Lutherans. All right. And then when it goes down to say most of the Muslim population is Sunni of either Qadiriya or Zukutu group, with a few who follow the Ahmadiyya. Interesting. Other religious groups within the country include Jehovah's Witnesses, which they basically Christian, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, with just over 2,000 members in the country at the end of 2015, Rastafarian, Hinduists, Baha'is at 2%, and around 3,000 Jews. Atheists make up around 4% of the population, although this number may include people who practice traditional African religions that do not have any gods. All right. So the highest religion practice in Malawi is Christianity. So Christianity is the most religious, most popular religion, and then it's Islam. So it's no surprise to me. All right. So I'm gonna go to the article where it talks about where they're getting ready to celebrate their Independence Day on this day. Okay, Malawi celebrates Independence Day, but the first president left his mark. All right. So today, July 6th, Malawi celebrates 56 years of independence and 62 years since its founding father, Hassan Kamal, Kamuzu Banda, returned to the British colony of Nyasaland after working and studying abroad. The country was the first member of the Federation of Rhodesia. We already read that part, okay. Although the current headlines about Malawi are glowing after the recent presidential power transfer, the fate of independent Malawi during the Cold War was a tragic one. Banda was a narcissistic leader. His nickname in in was it Ingwazi? Was it Ingwazi? Yeah, Ingwazi, which is the conqueror, reflected his autocratic inclination. All right. So, and it says the historical record shows that the country difficulties on the Banda were evident at the very moment of Malawi's founding. His obsequious embrace of Western powers and the presence of the Southern Rhodesian delegation at Malawi's independence celebration points to Banda's penchant for coddling up to superpowers and the region's racist white government. So basically, he was a sellout. Okay. That makes sense. Perfect sense. Hmm. All right. All right. So yeah. Today they celebrate their independence. Um. So this is coming from their article, which is what Mal and Guardian, Africa's best read. Malawi celebrate Independence Day, but the first president left his mark. Yeah. So all right. So let's take a look at. Let's get a look at. You know what? I'm curious as to why the flag is red, black, and green. Okay, let's talk about Malawi's flag. Flag. Okay. All right. So, out of curiosity about the flag, it says the flag of Malawi consists of three equal sized horizontal stripes. The top stripe is black, the middle one red, and the bottom stripe is green. There is a red rising half sun in the middle of the top black stripe. All right, the Malawi flag features a black stripe that represents the people of Africa. The color red stands for the blood split in Malawi's struggle for independence, while the green symbolizes the country's vegetation. The rise sun represents the dawn of freedom and hope on the African continent. All right, and it was adopted on July 6, 1964. And that's it. All right. So we're going to look at how they celebrate their Independence Day with a video. All right, so all right. So okay. I'm gonna stop this video right here, and I'm going to do a part 2. All right, because I gotta get my day started. So yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2 of what's the name of the country again? Hold on, shit. Yes, I'm gonna do a part 2 about Comoros. Yeah, was it Comoros? Comoros. Sorry about that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue with the part 2 of Comoros, which is a country in East Africa, which they also earned their independence in 1975. So I'm gonna do that. I will keep you guys posted. More than likely, it's gonna be sometime later on. Yeah, so make sure y'all stay posted. All right, and I'll give you guys the time and the schedule when I'm gonna be doing the subject matter. Anyways, thank you for watching. For those of you that are watching, and if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so when you get a chance to. And also share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and from there, we'll continue with more video content. And more information, like I said, later on tonight. I am going to continue off on the second part of this about Comoros and their independence. And then from there, yep, that's it. So until next time, may peace and power elevation be to all of you. Thank you for watching. And that being said, all right, y'all take it easy.